Good morning. Welcome to the London session. I hope you're doing well. Give me 1 second whilst I adjust my screen. I managed to get my computer to work, so I'm back on the two screens now. Yesterday I was struggling to get the screen to work. So, we're currently looking at the dollar index. Yesterday was great. A bit disappointing on euro, but the market is what it is. Sometimes he'll give it to you, sometimes he wouldn't. We just have to do the same thing over and over and over again. So, quickly before I go through what I have to go through, I mentioned that I think the CAD Swiss is going to be a down day today. They've already actually started dropping. So what I did was basically look for I looked at the futures market in the morning, and I was trying to figure out what pair will likely move today. And if I take you to the futures market, you will see that we had the CAD closing bearish yesterday. So 6C. We have the CAD closing bearish yesterday, right? In here. Okay, and we also had, let me put the Swiss down here. 6S. Right, the Swiss closing bullish right here. Okay, so that was the confirmation of what I was looking for, and I'm looking for one trade that will play out today, and I happen to find this one. So by the relationship between these two, how one has formed a low, one is moving down, there's a likelihood, there's a probability this one is gonna go higher, and there's a probability this is gonna go lower. But if you also look at price action, you can see we are back below this low here, right? Small reason why I sold short yesterday, right here. But give me 1 second again. Let me. I like to have my chilling music. It keeps my mind very in the flow. Okay, so by the look of price action, right, we have price coming back below this low, so that means there's a likelihood that price is gonna do what is gonna look to go into some form of a gap in here or another block in here. So below this low here, right, we have this gap, we have also that gap, and this is the last down candle. But this whole move down is the other block on the weekly time frame, and inside that you're gonna look for the gaps, which I like this one here, not so much the first one, because the first one is just too close to this high, right? if you put a fib, right, it's just too close to 50%. So if anything, it should be the 618 and below. So the gap portion will be from this here and down is what I'm interested in. So there's a probability CAD can continue going lower into this area here, and today, right, there's a probability that Swiss might go up. If you look at the lower time frame, they'll be coming later. They'll come later, okay? Sorry guys, I have my son on holidays and he's gonna keep coming in and out, so I apologize in advance. But we could see this one continue going to that level, and this one also potentially rejecting. Now if you look at the lower time frame, right, checking the 1 hour, you see that this one is coming off from an auto block on the H4 as well here, and this one just broke down, right? So this will continue going lower, and this, even though it might not go higher, it's not gonna go down for the time being, right? And I'll be wrong if we, you know, for some reason we break down, right? Then I'm wrong. But from the high time frame perspective and what I'm seeing here, we will see this one continue potentially rejecting and going up, and this one going lower, and that will give us this pair, right, going down for today. Now on the day, let me remove this drawing. That trade is done. So for the day, right, the strategy that I shared with you guys regarding the daily, as long as we are closing down, you can keep selling short every landing session. So that's what I did. On the H4, I sold basically this gap in here, or this imbalance. On the 1 hour, you can see properly here, and what I'm looking for is price to drop into.
What's this water?
W.
Not W, it's H.
H. Okay. We might see it drop down into this auto block in here, from this high to that low, maybe all the way down here, but I'll be getting out above this high. Okay, so that's what I'm expecting them to drop to. But my stop loss, okay, it's above this imbalance right here. It can trade and close in that imbalance, but I don't want to see them go above it, so that's where my stop loss is, right? It's not a day trade. It can take up to maybe 2 days, but it makes no difference to me because my stop loss is all the way up there. So I'm expecting expansion to the downside. It looks to me that they have placed a high in London, and we could go down on the, I think, 5 minutes chart. They broke market structure, which was what I was looking for. So this is a pullback, and we will see a potential continuation to the downside. If they do come back above this high, that's not a good thing for me. I might look for a different entry. I might close it and then wait for maybe New York session. So look for rejection to continue going lower. You can take partial if you're day trading it. You can take partial below this equal low in here. All right. So to me, that's the trade of the day, because I've been scanning the market to see what I can get to trade today, and nothing really was standing out to me, apart from this pair, because that's what I always do. I look at the futures market, and then I try to identify where there is kind of disparity in strength, or where there is a clear obvious of strength on a currency versus weakness on a currency. The other pair that could likely give you same scenario is these two here. Right, where we have the New Zealand coming off from a H4 order block, and the British pound also coming from a H4 order block as well, or potentially creating one. So with that will give you that will give you the pound New Zealand. We had a sell on pound New Zealand and it got stopped out, but as soon as it hit the stop loss, price basically price rejected that high. So we had a sell in this H4 order block, and as soon as they took us out, price started rejecting. I was not awake. If I was, I would have traded this in here, which is price breaking down, pulling back, and then selling short, which is similar to what I've just showed you on Card Swiss. So this is also a pair that is likely to see movement to the downside, but I didn't have any entry. I was looking for here. I actually took a screenshot. I was looking for price to move from this 15 minutes candle to move into here, and then I'll sell short because we are in London. So I'll sell short there, but price didn't even get there. So this is a pair that is likely to move lower today, probably to this level on a H1. Right, that's where I think it might drop to. So it's got a bit of room. Why is it not showing over there? Draw it again. All right, so that's where I think it might drop to. So if you do have a trade on, look to take partial over there. On the daily time frame, right, this is what I'm seeing. It looks to me that there is a kind of a breaking market structure. There's a kind of breaking market structure, and it could be a pullback for a long in here. This low, this high, lower low, and then a break. On the daily time frame, we are above this high, and they went just above that one, and it's trying to.
D is for Daddy.
All right, so we could see it retrace and then go higher. So with the retracement, you can just do the fib and look for price below 50%. Right, so if it's a breaking structure and they're coming for a pullback, we could see it trade all the way up to the 50% and in here before the continuation. So you can use that 50% also as a target, right? And don't look for more than that. Okay, so you can use this one and that as a target, mostly the first one. Okay, and then If it gives you more, then look down here. But once we get down here, based on what I'm seeing on the daily, it could send price higher. On the weekly, not so much. That's not what I wanted to go. Not so much on the weekly, because the weekly did not give any good sign of continuation to the upside. I would have loved them to close above this weekly high. Then I'll be interested in, a move a little bit higher. But right now, based on the daily, I like what I'm seeing. So I will attempt a long in here somewhere for a continuation to come and attack this high, and if they continue going higher, that's fine. Okay. What else was I gonna say? Yeah, so down here we also had, if you look, this low, that high, that low, and then price broke up, came back down, made a new high, and then it came back down, right? But this move here is failing to take out this low or to close below this low, right? So this could be a run on this low, and it could go all the way back up, right? Or it could come at least 50% of this range between this low and that high. Also bear in mind that it's overextended and we have voids in here, so it could close in that void. The month of I think this month, April, usually do see this pair go higher. Alright, we do see this pair potentially going higher. So if that's the case, then you could also use the that as the reason why price should go higher on this pair. Okay, so look for a sell, counter trend, bear that in mind, and once you get down here, look for a buy. The other trade that I'm currently in, let's go here. Let's get rid of this drawing. Yesterday I was looking for this equal high to be run, and they never gave me that. Let's go to general. Okay, another trade that I'm in, looking for continuation to the downside, is gold. Gold, in my opinion, it did go for this high here and broke down on the H4 with a big large range candle. So what I'm anticipating is a move for this equal low, this one here, because yesterday they came very close in taking that one out and it rejected. I actually anticipated the move, or I was waiting for the move, let me find my words properly, with this candle here, right, that down candle. I was looking for it to come a little bit lower before going to attack the equal high, which is this one here, but it didn't give the pullback. Daddy. Right, I was looking for that move here to go up, but they didn't give it, and then they went for that equal high. So when it was coming back down, it wasn't a high probability trade anymore. So with that move all the way down to closing out on that low, this to me is a pullback, and we could see it come back and attack the equal low. So on the H4, basically I'm selling this bearish order block and looking for price to come for this equal low. We could see the trade all the way back down here, which is 1915.37 level, right? So if you do sell short, make sure to take partial here and then look for continuation to this low. Now this trade is also backed with a bit of seasonal tendency behind it, because we do form a high roughly between the 11th and the 12th of April, right? There's a high that usually forms between the 11th and the 12th of April. So if that's the case, then we could be forming a high on the daily, and then it goes down up until let me check. Until the first of the first of May. Okay, so we could see it, go down from now to end of May. Now this cell here, right? Sometimes it can be a bit what's the word? Tricky, because I remember 3 years ago when I was still, developing. I had a bad experience with that seasonal move to the downside. I sold short and it kept going up, and I kept selling short and it kept going up, and I kept selling short and it kept going up. So in 2019, that year, the seasonal selling in April did actually murder me. So, word of caution, make sure you don't move your stop loss, right? If you do take a sell, make sure you don't move your stop loss, because back then that's what I did, and my discipline was not that high, so it did burn me quite a lot. If I can go back and show you where it is, and there's a valid sell in here, and it's similar to what is happening right now, because they did leave equal low as well. That was okay, it was in May, so that, my bad, is the other one. So there's two cells. There's one in May and there's one in April. The April one did work out. Yeah, I did get the April one. So this is the one we are currently looking for. So if you look here, right, I actually got a nice sell on that one. It's this one here that punished me, because I was looking for it to drop and take out this equal low here, but price never did, and it came back up. So I kept selling short, thinking this was just a move to close in this gap in here, or on the lower time frame void. So I sold short. Initially I was happy, I was up a bit of money, because I grew my account quite substantially back then. So I was looking for a continuation, and then this day we opened, we dropped. I sold more again that day, and then it just rejected, and I didn't close my trade. Came back up, sold again inside this bearish order block, and then it kept smashing through that. So I snapped out of that sell in this candle, and then the day I snapped out of it, the next day it gave a pullback. So just be careful. I think it's not this one here, because this one is always going to be a likely move to the downside. Today's day is the 12th, so you see that 12 is there, and we continue going down to end of May. So that's the move we are currently looking for right now. So we could be at the beginning of it. Right, we could be at the beginning of it, and this equal low looks very interesting as a target. Okay. Apart from sorry guys, it's gonna keep coming in and out. Apart from these three trades, right, nothing stands out to me in terms of high probability right now. Okay, of course you can blend some of the Swiss pairs and look for continuation, especially pound Swiss. Go here, GBP CHF, pound Swiss to drop as well. A bit too late, but that also has this equal low here that looks to me that they're gonna run. Yeah, sorry, I had to reply a message. I think they're gonna attack this equal low in here, right? So look for SL to continue going lower, right? I know we came on it a bit too late, but I chose the CAD Swiss, right? This is the same thing. I just prefer the CAD Swiss. You can see we had a sell up in there. I think someone brought my attention to it, and I showed him where to sell short. Beautiful in here. Zoom in. Very little drawdown, and if you went higher, you sold it, you sell again, all the way down here. Right, but it's gone. Hindsight, not good. This is not hindsight, so it's good. Alright, I will leave the stop loss here and attack this long. If I had seen it a bit early, and it could have been narrowed down to this imbalance in here, that's why I would have looked to sell short. Maybe I would have missed my entry. Nope, I would have got in. That's exactly where I would have sold short, within this bearish order block here. So right there, entry, stop loss would be above that, because there's a gap here. I didn't want them to come for that, and then this equal low. Alright, so look for continuation to the downside on pound Swiss. What else? What other Swiss pair? So if I look at the futures, pound Swiss is a good one. New Zealand Swiss not a good one. Let me look at Aussie. What are you doing?
Wow.
Go use it. Sit back. Okay, sorry. 6A. Not good with the Aussie Swiss. Let's look at Japanese.
Sorry. I didn't even tell you.
Okay, that one is not bad either. If I buy,
Mud, please.
Okay, I'm coming. Go get the biscuit for now.
You could get tin mud
Random question. Do the kill zones work for any currency? It does. It does. You just have to know which currency you're trading and know which ones. You have to know which currency you're trading and obviously go with the time zone that it's gonna likely move. Obviously, Swiss yen is an Asian pair, so it's gonna move during Asia as well. So you can trade it during the Asia, but if it's not an Asian pair, then you focus mostly on the kill zones, right? I do have specific times that I look, and you can see it's this shaded one between 7:30 and 9:30. That's where I'm looking for a trade entry. All right, so the gold short that I took it at exactly I took it at exactly between that time journal, no, history. If it's gonna show me the time. No, it's not showing me the time. Let's see here. Yeah, it doesn't show the time, but I would have showed you the exact time that I took it. I'm always looking to enter a trade at that time. Okay, so if I have an idea, I'm looking to take it at that time. So on this one, I took it exactly inside this shaded time. All right. So yes, it works on all time frames. You just have to know what you're looking for, and the best thing is have an idea, right? Which is just like, for example, here I have an idea that today this is gonna drop, and then I wait for that time and then I sell short based on what I'm seeing. So price traded into this imbalance at exactly between the 7:30 and 9:30. That's where I'm looking to enter a trade. So with the narrative that I gave you earlier on the higher time frame, I went short. So it does work on all. It works on all. You just need to have a narrative and then trade it according to the kill zone. All right. So I was looking at the Swiss yen. I think Swiss yen, if you wait, because it's currently being held hostage. It's currently being held hostage by this order block in here. So best thing is to wait for it to break above this high before, if you want to be a buyer, you can buy it. I think it will attack previous day's high, because previous day's high is still intact, so I think it's gonna attack previous day's high. The actual move is gone, which was this imbalance in here, right? Based on what I've been teaching you recently, you would have got a long in here, right? The H1 is still bullish, so until we take out this low, it's still bullish. So price retracing back to this, that was a nice entry to go long, and you can see the time that is actually moving. This was Asian session. It came back during the London. This is something that is common when you have a level and you're looking to go long or short. Usually gonna get price move during the London session, right? So if you are awake, if you are up during Asia and you bought that order block, then this was the a continuation to the upside from here. Let me go to the 5 minutes chart and give you, I know we have our YouTube members watching, but it's okay. You can have a sneak peek of what the VIP members do enjoy. Right, but this is the exact level price should turn around in here. So if you zoom in somewhere in here, and if you go onto the 3 minutes chart, I'm gonna give you the exact level. If you go to the 2 minutes chart, and if you go to the 1 minute chart, right, I see it. So in here, from this candle's high down somewhere in here, that's where price will be turning around. So I'll place a limit there in order not to miss it, because on the 30 seconds I think there is a gap somewhere in here. Right, you can see it based on what I've been showing you, and your stop loss goes below this low. Why? Because there's one down here. But I love this one because it's where the move on the higher time frame, this whole 1 hour candle move, it started from this one, right? So that's where I'll go long, and then I'll leave my stop loss here. Right, that's how you're gonna get your sniper entry. So if I should get rid of it, that's where it went, and then went higher. Okay, so if you're looking to trade the London session, this is where you'll be looking for your entry based on what I've given you guys so far. Right, it went as low as the gap somewhere down here, but that one is fine. Small drawdown. So you can look for a buy on this if you want to. Okay, and from where it is now, this previous day's high is a very nice level to anticipate partial, and then continuation based on the high time frame. Now I have a lot of people trying to sell short this, and I'm thinking there's nothing bearish about this pair, but they still want to go short. Let's check the monthly time frame. Right, we do have right here, we have that, okay, which is low resistance. So there's a likelihood that it will continue going up and take out that high. So 13888, we could see that, and then maybe after that high is taken, because we have this high, that high, and then we broke down, which I'm not looking for it to take out this high. If it does, it's gonna reverse as soon as it takes out that high, because we have that. Okay, we have this high, and then a break, taking our short-term low. This should be a pullback, and based on the high time frame, come back down here. So if they're able to take out this high, then expect price to completely reverse and come back and attack this low. Okay, that's long time. Okay. Someone is requesting for silver, so let's go and have a look at silver. Silver should be indices. All right, I think silver is similar to gold. Wow. Okay, maybe I choose the XAG. I'm looking for silver by Wanda. Okay, this one. Okay, so silver, that was a nice sell as well. From that, we go to the daily quickly. Move all this drawing. Okay, we have an auto block in here, right? We have this run, and then they've moved down. So we have an auto block here, and reduce to that imbalance. So reduce it to here. On the H4, that is the level. It hits it, break down, pull back. So it should come and attack this low as well. And let me check the seasonal for silver. Yep, silver is similar. We should drop up until 28th of April. So 28th of April, silver should also continue going lower. So by definition of this auto block in here, we should see it come all the way back down to this low. We should come back down and attack this and probably extend to that one. So silver should come for this low, but for now, based on the 1R and the H4, look for this as a partial profit level. So if you're short, because I know that's why you're asking, you should be short, right? Missed where I would have gone short. Okay, so this is where I would have gone short on the 15 minutes. See on the 5 minutes chart. Yeah, that's where I would have gone short. I would have missed it, but it gave it gave another entry in here on the 15 minutes, right? Run, break, that's an auto block, and then it pulled back. So on the 15 minutes, that was an auto block entry there, which met with time and then moved down. So it's gonna attack this low, and then maybe you might react in here a little bit, and then it should attack that. I like this one, but for the rest of the month, I think we'll probably see it come for this low. Okay, so whatever you do, look for a sell. Okay, any other question? I don't want to go through the other pairs because I've been going through the market, and I just like to trade the high probability. I like to trade the high probability pairs. So if it's not high probability, I don't like it. This is a level to watch on euro. Why is my drawing not? Okay, I like that gap there. It's not, we don't have a breaking market structure yet, so it could trade one more time down. So watch that. It could give you a bounce back into this. Right, so for if you're a scalper, watch this on a 1 minute time frame. That could give you a buy. New Zealand, the level that I like to be a buyer is here. I have it on my other screen or other computer, so I want to see them drop to for a buy. If you drop down to the 5, it takes you a bit lower, but I'm just gonna be lazy and just use for right now. I'm not lazy, but I'm just being lazy right now, and I'll go back being disciplined. Alright, so that's the level I like them to come to. The H4 is still making lower lows anyway, so until we take out this high, okay, we will see one more drop to the downside. So that's the New Zealand. Aussie, let me go to Aussie. Yep, Aussie is also still bearish. You have that nice swing high in there with that bearish order block, and it could trade back up a little bit more in here and then sell off again. So watch that. Maybe New York session, if you see it coming up there, you can attempt a sell and continue going lower. According to the seasonal tendency, right, which is what I swear by, between today and the 14th, we should start seeing some form of a sell-off on Aussie and New Zealand. So I like the Aussie because it made a higher high and then it broke down. So high, low, high, down. So it could be dropping further and closing some of this void in here, maybe all the way down to this high and below, right? This high and below, which we look for the imbalance somewhere in here. So we could see Aussie trade all the way down there, right? So, I don't know why you're not syncing, but it's supposed to be synchronizing for me. I actually did, it's just I can't see it. Okay, so that's where I'll be expecting them to trade to. Partial out below this low if you do get a sell, right? That low right there, right? Partial out there, and then look for continuation to come down here, and then inside that area is where, if you know dollar starts declining, we might get some form of a reaction. I will not buy it to come all the way up here. That's not what I'll be looking for, but it might give you a reasonable buy because of this low, that high, that low, price went up, never retraced back down here. So you could see something like that. I've got someone asking me, you used to be an ICT student. I am an ICT student. I'm still an ICT student. Alright, I've not stopped being an ICT student. It's just that, I've spent a lot of, years, I think since 2016, so 6 years studying his stuff. So yeah, I am still a student, but a veteran student, right? Okay. Any other question? Our YouTube viewers, do you guys have any question apart from asking me if I'm ICT student? Let's go back to crosses, and yep, they did trade back into it and it's rejecting. So on the 5 minutes chart, yeah, we should see trade for that equal low. That was a nice sell yesterday. I should have held on to my position for that equal low, but strategy is a strategy. You have to follow your rules. So my rule was just to attack this low, and you can see as soon as I attacked it, it rejected. Any other question, guys? The pound New Zealand, this is where I wanted to sell short, and it didn't get there for me to sell short, but it should still go down. I'm going to remove this. Attempt one here. Let's see. Oops. Many pips is that? 7 pips. Oh, 15. It's like that's too low. 15 is fine. Yeah, 15 pips is okay. And then for that level down here, um I think he's he doesn't wanna go deeper into it. um with what you have studied, you have to now, I think, you have to now spend time and and dig deep into what you already have, so you can discover more, because he's not ready to give more than what he's given. And I don't think in the mentorship he actually, gave much about IPTA. um, he doesn't really talk much about it. He just gives clues, right, just as usual. So my advice to you, which is what I do, right, I actually, tell all the, VIP members to do the same thing. When you're looking at price, right, with the knowledge that you have, because if you've been doing it since 2016, you do have a bit of knowledge. With the knowledge that you have, right, start thinking in terms of an algo for yourself. Okay, start thinking in terms of an algo for yourself. So maybe a bit of programming. I'm not saying go and learn programming, but get to understand how an algo works, not in terms of IPTA, but just try to understand in terms of normal algorithm. How does it work, right? So I'll give you an example. Say, where's my let me use something that I'm not going to be using. Okay, let's use this one. Actually, nope. Okay, let's use this one, right? Say you want to program a robot, right? You want to program a robot to move object A from location A, move this object from location A to location B, right? So if you are writing the algo to move from A to B, right, this is where thinking in terms of algorithm comes in. Right? Try to define where A is, where B is, and also try to define how the robot will be able to pick up this object and how it's also going to be able to drop it here. Okay, because it's a robot, it does not have any thinking abilities, right? So you have to define everything. So first of all, you need to give it where the location of A is, where the location of B is, how to identify the object in location A, where in location B you want it to drop it to. So all this has to be kind of defined, right? Once you're able to think like that, then take it to price. Okay, take it to price and then start thinking, how will an algorithm know to move price from here to there? Or what will be the characteristics of price knowing that, okay, I have to move from here to here? For example, if okay, let me use the trade that I took yesterday on this pair, right? How would price know here? Okay, how would price know to move from here to this equal lows in here? Okay, how would price know to move from here to here? So there must be some criteria, some logics behind why price will be able to move from here to there. All right, and then I'm gonna leave you with this pattern here, oops, okay, this pattern here has got logical levels that if you are to program, something, you can use. So you can call this 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you can call this 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, in my opinion, okay, and this is based on my years of studying ICT. In my opinion, right, there might be other things running price, but this is very easy to understand, or it's very easy to come to a conclusion that whenever this pattern presents itself, price would do something. Okay, whenever price presents itself with this pattern, price is going to do something. It's predictable, because if we move up and then we break down, you can define that there was a high, there was a low, there was a high, and then we've made a new low. So there is some kind of a shift that happened right here. And then same thing in here, we have this 1, 2, 3. There's some kind of shift that happened right here, right? So algorithmically, if you want to write a program, you can use this, that okay, if price, for example, right, let's say price made this, which makes it even much better. If price is making high highs and we take out the last low, okay, and we made a high high and we take out the last low, then go here, for example, right? So if price was making a high high and then you make a lower high, or makes a lower low, lower high, this is a lower low, then go down here. So it's a set defined rule. So once price makes this, it's always going to do this, or the opposite. So once price does this, it's gonna take out this high. So it's always gonna do that. So it's like an algo, right? Because anytime it does something like this, then the next movement is set to go down here. Now, if you translate this to all time frames, okay, then it will start making sense, because if you see this on the weekly, or if you see this on the monthly, or if you see this on the daily, then it gives you what price is supposed to be doing in days, in weeks, or even in hours. So if this is a daily, then the coming maybe days, you'll be able to predict what price is supposed to do. Or if it's on a weekly, that means in the coming weeks, you'll be able to predict what price is supposed to do. And then once you have this, then try and bring in all that you understand about what ICT has shared. So think about IPTA data ranges, right? Then think about quarterly shifts, think about order blocks, think about imbalances, think about fair value gaps, right? Once you understand what I just shared here, then you bring all of that in, and then you start putting that puzzle together, and then you're not fully gonna understand the algorithm, that you didn't create it, right? And even the person that created it is not there to come and share it with you. So don't even try to fully understand the algorithm. It's like trying to catch your own shadow. You are not going to be able to do that. So don't try to figure out the algo. Try to figure out something that repeats itself and it works, which is very predictable. You can see it when it's about to do it, and it works. And then just use that. Okay? So by what I've just explained here, plug in the other stuff that you understand by ICT, and then it should start making sense. And another advice that I'll give you is, always think algorithmic, because nothing is random. So think algorithmic. Why is Bryce doing this? Why is Bryce doing that? Okay. Why is Bryce doing this? Why is Bryce doing that? If you focus on that edge, just trade the edge and make your money, and then just be happy with it. Right? So that is my little advice for you. And for all those that are watching, what I've just shared here, if you've been studying ICT for a while, what I just shared here will make a lot of sense. If it doesn't, then you've not studied enough. Okay, I think my time is up. So I'm gonna go and make some breakfast for this little boy.
What's going on? One second. That's not tiger. Yes, there's an alligator. No, that.
Go to your room. Go play. Come on. No. Any last questions before I log out? All right, thank you, and you too have a blessed day. I'm going to check New Zealand. It didn't even get there, and it's going down. It's a shame. Anyone got any last question before I close out? I think the row will keep dropping. There's a 1 hour level. I think you came in late. There's a 1 hour level that you can watch. Here, there's a 1 hour level that you can watch. I don't know what kind of position you're looking to take, whether day trade or swing trade. I don't know what you're in, but this is the level I'm watching for a scalp to form. All right, cool. The VIP members, I will see you guys at 2. And for the YouTube members, I will see you on Thursday, because Thursday I'll have another landing session. So I'll see you on Thursday morning. If you want to join us in the VIP, you're more than welcome. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys